Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Today we have another student interview, and I'm excited to present to you guys one of our star students, Noah. I know it looks like no, but it's pronounced Noah. We're going to spend some time kind of breaking down Noah's journey so far with us at the DBA. If you're new around here, if you're not aware, we help online coaches, business owners kind of start their coaching offers and scale it up using paid marketing. So Noah's been doing an amazing job. We're going to kind of break down his story. Noah, do you mind just kind of giving us a brief interview and backstory to who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so basically, what I do and how I got into this space is I'm a soccer coach. So I've played soccer my whole life, played in college, played the semi-pro levels, and I started doing some private training about 2 years ago. I started by basically it's personal training, but for soccer athletes, where I would coach them, do private training, private skill training with them, and then I built that business up to where we were doing a little bit over six figures. And then I was able to kind of hire a staff of coaches, they take it over. And then that's when I moved into the online space and started coaching guys online.
Awesome, man. And by the way, how old are you, man?
I just turned 23 a couple months ago.
Gotcha. So pretty young, doing some amazing things at a young age, dude. So just from
Nice.
what I'm hearing, you had an amazing skill set, got some really good success with it, and now looking to jump in online coaching. About how long ago did you kind of get the idea to start the online coaching?
To be totally frank with you, I've known it since I started soccer coaching 2 years ago because
Mhm,
I hired a mentor myself when
mhm,
I was getting into the space, and I realized that that's where the real money is. So
mhm,
I had to work myself up through that soccer coaching business first, and then once I became successful, I knew it
mhm.
was time to launch this.
Nice, man. So, yeah, dude, I want to dive into that, dude. So, before kind of just stumbling into us, what was that kind of approach like? How did you kind of plan on getting it running? Were some ideas that you had to get like online students?
It's funny that you asked that because I literally had no ideas.
Mhm,
My idea was probably to go through more organic marketing and
mhm,
just posting YouTube videos and building up content over time. But to be totally frank with you, I didn't really have a strategy, and I had actually been following you for quite a long time, and then
mhm.
I realized like once I got into the space, I was like, all right, well, like how do I find people online? I'm all right. I'm gonna go to Alex. So and then I came to you guys.
Yeah, dude. So a little backstory on me, dude. So I got started with like the online space late 2020, really 2021. And organic marketing was all I knew. And the reason why I jumped straight into that is because a few years prior, when tried to start a drop shipping business, I dived into paid ads and on Facebook ads. And I was 18 at the time, and I got my first kind of like full time job. And during that summer, I think I started my bank account balance at like $100 and it ended off at like negative $50 because all my money that I was working throughout the entire summer was just going into Facebook ads and it was just not generating me anything. So fast forward like literally like 2 years later, I'm like, all right, I want to get back into running a business, but I don't want to do organic marketing, like, yeah, or I don't want to do paid ads rather because it's like I don't want to blow a ton of money. That's how I got started in organic marketing. It's why most people get started because they think they need a ton of money. And at the time, reflecting on that, I just didn't know what I was doing with paid ads, and I was burning money because it wasn't profitable and I didn't have a right strategy. But I spent like the next 2 3 years almost just learning organic marketing, growing on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, just about everything. And it just got really fatiguing mentally. And you're always seeing these up and down roller coasters with organic marketing. So it's smart of you to leapfrog that massive mistake. I wish I could have gone back and told myself, no, just put a healthy budget aside and focus on learning how to run paid ads. So, dude, you have a really good offer. I actually think my goal over the next few months with you is to really take this to the next level because I don't know many people that help private athletes and coaches, specifically soccer, and I know you can branch out to other niches, scale their business individually. I think it's a really unique niche. One of the things we spend a lot of time talking about the DBA is crafting really good offers and scaling that. So when it comes to your offer, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but there's a uniqueness to your offer. Can you kind of explain a little bit more why you think or why you've seen so much success with what you do so far?
Yeah, so in terms of my offer, like before I was more like how I initially got started is through mentorship, and
Mhm.
his initial offer was a lot of group coaching, but it was really just like a course kind of thrown at you and good luck.
Yeah.
Um, So for my offer and why I made it unique is it's a lot of one-on-one. So I do 4 months of one-on-one coaching with them. They come in, I work with them every single day. You know, some guys come in, they don't do anything, and some guys come in and they're asking me 40 questions a day. And
Mhm.
those are the type of people that I want to work with. People that are always working all the time, because I'm doing the same damn thing. So
Yeah.
um, the one-on-one is pretty unique in its way, and then the community of coaches is also a big factor as well, because there's just so many guys that are in this private training space that have
Mhm.
no idea how to make money. And the guys that are in a community like this, we're all sharing, very valuable information and problems that we're all running into in our own businesses, and sharing that across, multiple networks, so we're all growing and making a ton of money at the same time, which at the end it just makes the course look like a just a bonus, right? Like
Yeah.
I teach them A to Z how to get there from step A, or from point A to point B, give them the entire course, but the uniqueness is really, and the values is working with me hand in hand and with other coaches.
I love that, man. So that's the model we teach. We initially called it the 3C model: group coaching, right? Course and community. And there's so many benefits to that. Not only are your students getting amazing results like you just outlined, but you as the business owner, you're now having to dial back how involved you are with every single student. Because you'll find, especially if you grow your community over time, other students chipping in to help others, and there's that learning curve that is shortened because there's so many people at different levels kind of assisting each other. So I love that. I'm glad you're modeling that really well, and it just makes, like you said, the course an added bonus. Speaking of which, man, like, what is the mindset for you? I mean, one of the biggest reasons why we have interviews like this and stuff is just to crack the mind of a successful coach. So other people out there that are looking to get in coaching, maybe a little bit afraid to create content, to craft an offer. There's a lot of those like hesitancies. So what are some advice, or what is the mindset? We can start with just mindset. What's the mindset going into crafting a new offer and putting yourself out there online?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. It's definitely uncomfortable. And in the beginning,
Mhm.
I did have some major struggles. When I had first started making content, it actually took me about 2 months to get around that corner of, I'm thinking about, oh, my family's going to see this, my friends are going to see this, my customers that I have in my training business are going to see this and judge me and maybe not want to work with me. And turns out I was completely wrong, but
Mhm.
it took me, a month or two to get around that bend. And for anybody who's watching this that is at that same point where they're trying to get around that bend, just start. Just do it. Just start posting things. Post whatever the heck you're doing on a daily basis. Throw your workouts in there. Whatever you're doing, post it on your stories, and then just consistently making content about, what you're doing. Because something that I've always realized is that their social media there's a producer and there's a consumer. The
Mhm.
1% is producing for the 99% of consumers. So don't get stuck in that 99% of people consuming it. Be the 1% of producers, because that's where you're going to see so much value and so much money coming from that.
I love that, man. That's really good insights. Speaking of just like creating content, another big hiccup for a lot of coaches is pricing their offers. Right. I know you're just stepping into the zone, so there's a lot I'm going to help you kind of refine when it comes to your offer. But just from you've learned so far with price points, I mean, what kind of advice could you give someone on struggling to pick a price, struggling to sell that price point? I know we
Mhm.
started off at a low high ticket price, and then you've already started to increase it already. So can you share some insights on that?
Yeah. So, I mean, with an online coaching offer, with really any offer in general for any type of business, it just comes down to supply and demand. At at any point, somebody's going to buy. If the price is low enough, somebody's going to buy, right? So,
Mhm.
for somebody who's just starting out like myself, right, who doesn't have that much demand for a service like me yet, because I'm brand new to the space, we start low. We bring people in, and then as demand rises and my supply drops, the price goes up in turn, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, if you're just starting out and you don't know how to price it, honestly, Alex Ramosi, he recommends, get 5 people in your business for free, get them in for
Yeah.
free, get them results, and then start raising your prices over time. So I have the same kind of mindset when it comes to that.
I love that, dude. It's so simple but so impactful. And like what I've seen with a lot of coaches is like, Alex, well, I don't know if I should charge so high because people can't afford it or I'm not confident. And it's just like start at a price point you're comfortable with and gauge it from there. Um, Specifically for, I've been bragging about this for quite some time now because it's just so amazing. But for someone that has just started out and people don't know this, they're going to know now. You've been able to do some pretty amazing things with just a few hundred subscribers or followers rather on Instagram. Can you kind of walk through and share with us like the last couple of weeks what it's been like for you starting a brand new Instagram page, brand new offer, and like seeing insane results so quickly?
Yeah, 100%. So really, I started making content into the new year. I think, wow, that was only 5 weeks ago, actually. So I think I made my first videos 5 weeks ago.
Mhm,
Um, and initially, I wasn't running ads at that point, so nothing was coming in, nothing was flowing in. And then once I started running those paid ads, and getting those followers in, it's just really a matter of hitting them hard in the DMs and opening conversations and finding people that you can actually help, right? Because
mhm,
I'm not a fan of people just selling things to sell things, right? Like you
mhm,
got to there's people something that's so amazing about this algorithm is it's going to find the exact person that you need. It's going to put you right into into your follower account. So your
mhm.
leads are full of people that are exactly in your niche. So then at that point, it's really just going out hammering all of them, and then it's just consistently putting out content too. Like people don't trust you, right? Especially when you're just starting, and even right now, like people still don't trust me because I'm very brand new, right? But the more
Mhm.
content you continue to throw out, and the more content you keep producing, and the genuine content that you're producing, the more that people are going to trust you and want to be a part of something like what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's really insightful there. And it's powerful because if you think about it, right, like people buy into people, not products or services. So a lot of people that are struggling, like Alex, I can't, get anyone that can afford my services or everyone's ghosting me. Realistically speaking, they just don't trust you enough. And dude, like I want to speak on that a little bit, right? So you said it's only been like 5 weeks. We didn't even start running ads until like the first, like,
Yeah,
or the
like
last, like a couple weeks ago, right? We just
yeah,
started.
probably like 3 weeks ago. So it
Yeah.
started
So
running up.
dude, no, I want you to tell this and just share this, man. But like that week that you had where you were just going crazy, can you share exactly what you did and like how you're feeling in that week?
Yeah, so that week was last week, and
Mhm,
it was awesome because initially, like when I started launching the ads, like
mhm,
this for the first 2 weeks, like I had to keep deleting the ads because it
mhm,
wasn't working. They weren't optimizing. They weren't getting into the right niche, like all these things. And I could have easily just been like, all right, well, this doesn't work. I'm not going to keep
mhm,
doing this anymore. But we kept re-optimizing and keep redoing them, and then eventually it hit, and then people started flooding in, and then I got people all onto, I think I did 11 calls last week, and I was able to close 5 or 6 of them, and it was all $1,000 deals. So I was able to make $5,000 to $6,000 just from that one business, because I have other businesses, but just
mhm.
from that one business in that one week. And I've never made that much money in that span of time anyway. So I was like, all right, I feel amazing. I'm gonna go take my family to dinner. So I did all that, and now I'm kind of back to reality a
Uh-huh.
little bit.
Yeah, that's amazing, and it just puts a smile on my face. Just for reference, guys, to further elaborate on what Noah was saying. So the way we kind of set up stuff in our business and how we help our students, the first thing that we need to solve is a traffic problem, right? I mean, you can't consistently make money or grow a business if you're not consistently getting people looking at your brand and your offer. So the first thing we'll do is we'll script out some what we call follower ads. They're designed to speak closely to your target audience. And what we are struggling with initially was just the right messaging, right? Because it's a fairly new offer. It's its own niche. So we're trying to get the right messaging down. So we'll troubleshoot that, script an ad, upload it, see how it performs. We get quick data on it, and we weren't hitting it the first go around, which is fine. I will say, Noah, a lot of people get discouraged right away. You were quick with it, and I'll tell you right now, your turnaround speed is amazing. It's why you're so successful so quickly is because you're not like taking 3 days to script out and film an ad. It's done quickly, and you take imperfect action, right? Like it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just recording on your phone. So we finally hit it on that second go around, and I remember seeing the Slack channel, and you're like, "Yo, my ads are like printing followers now. What do I do?" So we're like, "Yeah, all right, let's start hitting these people up." We finally got the second crack around, and that only took like a week or so of optimization to spin around, so it doesn't take forever.
Yeah.
And then when it's optimized, dude. So you're just rolling and rolling. and you were starting from like basically complete scratch with your account. And then I started to see it come through. I'm like, yo, I saw you say, hey, I closed one deal. Hey, I closed another deal. Hey, another deal came through. And then at the end of the week, I'm like, I see that, yeah, I closed like 7 grand in like 5 days, guys. This is like the craziest week of my life. I'm like, oh my God, what a beast, dude. What a freaking beast. So that's honestly awesome. And so, like, what's some advice you can give somebody? Because to get to where you went to, where you got to, you had to go through some roadblocks initially. I think a lot of people stop themselves and sell themselves really short because they face some roadblocks and then they just stop. Can you speak on like your mindset and your ability to just take it on the chin and keep pushing it forward?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like to call myself crazy.
Mhm.
You gotta be crazy, right? I mean, in general, to be a business owner, you've got to be arrogant enough to be like, all right, I can do this better than anyone else. So
Mhm.
first off, it's the concept, it's the confidence, and then it's really the relentless mindset. Like you got to understand that like results, like you're starting a business because you want to create long lasting revenue that's going to print money for you for years and years and years. So if you're getting upset over a couple bad months or even a couple bad weeks, like you're not cut out for this, right? Like
Mhm.
I understand that it's going to go up and down, but nobody's stopping me. There's not a soul on earth that's going to be able to stop me, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm running two businesses at the same time and I'm trying to grow and scale them so we can, do 40, 60, $100,000 months. Like nobody's going to get in the way of me. And you have to have the exact same mindset. Like the only person stopping yourself is is you. Like you're the only one. It's just your mind. Like you can be as great as you want. It's just all up here. Like, what do you believe? I genuinely believe that I can go do 100K months and I'm going to go do it. Right. And you just have to have that exact same mindset.
Yeah. I love that, man. And it's so great to see that you have that mindset. Unfortunately, a lot of people come into business trying to make quick, easy income, or they do it as a hobby. And I don't like working with people that's like, oh yeah, like I want to, start my coaching business on the side. Like, no, this should be your full time commitment.
Mm.
And that's just awesome, man. I have just a couple of smaller, quick questions and then we could wrap up here because I know you're a busy man. But like when it comes to success, right? A lot of people want to be successful. Everyone wants to be successful. What is one character trait you would tell newer coaches out there to have? Obviously, there's the basic stuff like, perseverance, stoicism. What's something else that you feel like maybe is underrated that not a lot of people talk about that is required to be successful in business?
Honestly, I think the most underrated characteristic is being humble.
Mhm.
And which is might sound crazy because I had just mentioned being arrogant and needing that you need some arrogance, but also the humbleness that you need to understand that you aren't smart. I'm not sitting here and saying I'm a genius and I know everything and I'm a smart guy. I'd say I'm pretty close to dumb because there's so much information that I know that I don't know yet that I need to go out there and learn. So, humbleness and then just a drive to learn. I mean, honestly, like it really what it comes down to is your willingness to just absorb information on a daily basis, reading, courses, online seminars, those Alex Hormozy 100 leads courses. I mean, those
Mhm.
things are fantastic, right? Like information like that. And like something that I do every single day is I set an hour of my day just to learn, whether it's through those, books, courses, whatever we're doing. So if I continue to absorb information, I'm going to continue to get smarter. I'm going to get better and better ideas that I can then use towards my business. And then my business is going to grow in turn. So just work on yourself, get smarter, get healthy, and then everything will follow after that.
Love that, man. Awesome stuff. That's some really good insight. I want to wrap up by just saying this, like, guys, when it comes to growing a business, especially online coaching, like I can't speak to the importance of community, right? Like that is so important. I think what we're doing at the DBA is really starting to build and foster a good community. You heard Noah talk about having his own community as well. And like I really think trying to grow a coaching business or any business for that matter on your own is like the scariest thing in the world. A lot of people will tell themselves, I'll do this on my own, or I'll test it a little bit on my own first, see if I can get some results, and then I'll look to get assistance down the line. Everyone that I've always seen get really great results, like you said, Noah, they put their ego aside, put their fear aside, and just say, "Hey, I want to save and value my time. I don't want to spend the next couple of months, potentially a couple of years trying to figure this out. I want to shortcut that process. And I always tell people, you're always paying a price. Always paying a price, right? So if you want to do this on your own, you're paying the price of time, which is the most valuable asset. Or you can look at it the other way where, you know, you're going to pay to get assistance, get mentorship, get coaching, but you shortcut that time and you buy your time back. So there's always a price to pay. So really do appreciate you, Noah. Is there anything else you want to share with us? Maybe drop your IG so people can stalk you a little bit and see what you're up to.
Yeah, check out my Instagram page. It's at coach.noahv, Noev. All right. And that's everything I got.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thanks, guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one.
Appreciate it, dude.